So first of all, I would like to introduce Chilparco International. It was founded on 30th January 2021. We are 6 years old, and very recently we have celebrated our Foundation Day. And it is also Dr. Alka Mahajan's birthday on
Wow.
30th. So
Thank
that
you. Happy birthday.
cheer is still going on.
Yeah.
Birthday cheer is still going on. And happy belated happy birthday, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
we believe in connecting the global community through humanitarianism. And in doing so, we are fueled by the power of C's, that is care, connection, communication, creativity, collaboration, and charisma. We believe in empowering and being empowered. That's a very powerful line. Now, our vision to make planet Earth a beautiful, bountiful, and blissful place to be, to celebrate uniqueness and diversity in all its myriad hues. I would request Alka ma'am to play the anthem.
Chilparco International, connecting the globe through humanitarianism, fueled by the power of seas. Care, communicate, connect, create, spreading smile, love, peace, positivity, enhancing self-worth. We believe that. No, you are unique. You are unstoppable. You are unbeatable. You are timeless. You are tenacious. You are witty. You are winsome. You are witty. You are wise. You are genuine. You are candid. You are charming. You are charismatic. Let's together keep shining, keep smiling to make planet Earth a beautiful place to be in.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Book Visits Club is one of the wing of Chilparco International. We have many clubs and many other wings also. And we keep on meeting and we keep on discussing about books. And most of the time it is extremely invigorating discussion. Today we have decided to discuss about the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Frankly speaking, before it was suggested by the members of the Wizard Club, I was not uh, uh, I was not knowing the title of the book. I was not knowing about the book at all. Oh, Alka ma'am is wonderful. Alka ma'am is showing the frog also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It's a new age motivational book, and I have read Atomic Habits. I have forgotten the name of the author. Maybe eventually I'll tell
Brian
you.
Tracy.
No, not Brian Tracy. I'm talking about Atomic Habits by James Clear. I have
Okay,
read
okay.
that, but Eat That Frog I have not read. Thank you, ma'am, very much for suggesting it because now I have read it. Uh, its core idea is very simple, and that's why maybe it is very sticky. It sticks with the reader. The core idea is that do your most important and most hardest task first. That is what the author is saying. And he's saying in a very simple, methodical way, he's showing us paving the way for us. 21 points he points out, yeah, and the methods, he's almost laying the path before us. And he says that our we should prioritize. Our strong prioritization that actually gets the work done. And it is very action oriented, and that's why very motivating. And as Alkamam has said, now in this modern age, we generally tend to neglect long books, novels, and things like that. And especially we are hooked to these self-motivating books because we have forgotten the old wisdom and we want it in a new package.
Yeah.
And the author here has not really said something groundbreaking, not really said something which is not does not exist in the universe. He has actually talked about age-old wisdom, but yes. in a wonderful new packaging. That is my take. But we have our panelists with us. Um, I will invite them to talk one by one and tell us about their understanding of the book, their take on the book. First of all, I would like to request Jeannie, Professor Jeannie, Ambassador Jeannie from USA, to tell us about the book because before we started the talk, she said that somehow she has, with the law of attraction, she has attracted the book to herself. So I would like to know, after attracting the book to herself, what actually she has got from the book. Was the attraction rightful or was the attraction wrongful?
Well, thank you very much for that very kind and warm introduction. I just want to start out by saying that at different points in my life, because of the type of job I had, I was always very, very organized because I was a patent paralegal in a
Mhm.
big law firm in Chicago. And we had the responsibility of filing patents for our clients. And the world of intellectual property, filing patents, filing trademarks, but especially patents, it provides unlimited opportunities to make mistakes. So in order to have that kind of a job, you have to be dedicated, on point. You have to know that all your ducks are in a row, because otherwise you cost your client their patent rights. And then that is not good, because then they have to sue you and then they have to revive their application. It's a big hassle. So at that point in my life, I was very, very meticulous. It was one of the reasons why I was very good at my job. Okay, because I had a docket. I had a docket and I was very faithful to that. I had filings in countries all around the world for my clients. I had to pay attention. I had to be organized. And I worked for several attorneys that absolutely counted on me.
Wow.
And in addition to which, every time we would get a new class of brand new lawyers into the firm, they really looked to the paralegals to support them. Because even though they had a mentor as a shareholder in the firm, those of us who worked with them, we had to teach and guide them and do things. I raised several lawyers from puppies. Really, I had little baby dogs, and I
Oh,
brought them into being, and some of them really thanked me for helping and guiding them. So then I retired. Okay. I retired in December of 2013, and my mother was with me, and it was the last 5 years of her life, and I spent time focusing on her. And eventually, all of that meticulous to detail just went by the wayside. I was focusing on her needs, her appointments. Then we had hospice in the house, and I had a whole crew of people coming and doing things. And so my life kind of got shoved off to the side because I had other priorities. So I just got lazy
Yeah.
about my own stuff. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't, and there, I get a project that I really didn't want to do. I have one right now that's sitting over here on my side table. And
Marmalade.
so, so when I'm reading this book about Eat That Frog, which I don't really like the title of the book. I find it kind of yucky. But
Yeah.
anyway, I understand the point. But I said to him, book is talking to me because I have put this project off because, oh, I don't want to do it. It's hard. It's sticky. It's going to take time. Blah, blah, blah. And so I would do something easier, just to think, to tell myself at the end of the day, well, at least you did that. And as he points out in the 80-20 rule that he talked about in the book, you got to put in that 20% of effort to support the other 80% of your life instead of doing things that, really are not, as important. But I was doing that. And so I caused stress for myself. I really caused stress. I started putting up little signs in my office. Motivate yourself or be miserable. Procrastination is self-inflicted punishment. Get it done. Then I have a sign right above my screen. You're getting distracted again. Get it done. You heard me. Now I'm writing these notes to myself, posting them around my. So this book, I read every single word of it, highlighted stuff. I'm going to read it again because I need to absorb some of this stuff. But I really think if you review the 21 chapters at the end of the book, where it gives you a little every single day or every other day, it will keep you on track if you are until you get yourself to the point where you are on track and you can make your list, your monthly list, your weekly list, your daily list, and stick to it. Because I find that writing things down, when I was a patent paralegal, every single thing was written down. You could not trust your memory for one single thing because it could cost your client. So everything was docketed, and I want to get back to that with my personal life, because right now, to tell you the truth, I'm semi-retired. I have a cat who just pushes me around all day long, comes up, lays on me, gets smooches, distracts me, and I need to get back to the day where I was organized. And so this book was really very helpful for me. And
Great.
thank you to whoever recommended it.
Thank you so much, Ginny. Yes, personally, I think it is a very, very good book for beginners, and especially those who think they have been procrastinating. But somehow you talked about hospice, you talked about taking care of your mother. I think this book is not that good when somebody is going through an emotional battle and somebody is overwhelmed
Yeah.
with a lot of tasks, taking care of somebody,
It's more for the
especially
workaholics.
yes, especially people who take care of others.
Yes.
That is missing, which I found in the other book I told you about, the Atomic Habits. It talks about your behavioral initiation. This book initiates you. That's my personal belief. Maybe our
No, no, no,
panelists
you're
have
right,
something,
actually. I feel the same.
something.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I would like to invite G. Geeta Rao, a professor and a motivation speaker herself. So I think she will be able to do better justice to the book because this book is about motivation only. Geeta, will you?
Yes, thank you, Shamli. And okay, this book, Eat That Frog, I have read it earlier when I was doing my NLP course. Okay.
Okay.
That's a neuro linguistic programming. When I
Right.
was doing that, my mentor had asked us to go through that. And so we, casually read it. And okay, fine. So, but when I read it again now, it was like I could glean a lot of the NLP
Yeah.
processes into this particular one. And when, especially the title, Eat That Frog, and Shamli rightly said sticky, right?
Yeah.
It really sticks. The frog's tongue like that, it stuck to me for a particular reason of late. I think only Shamli is aware of it. In 2022, I was diagnosed with cancer. And it was a difficult period. And what gave me the impetus to come out of it was books like this. And when I was looking at it, yes, can I do something with this book and help myself was that was it. And this frog itself to me is a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor. That's the reason he brings it in. And what it does, it goes into your subconscious without touching the conscious mind. It goes into your subconscious. And there are a lot of reframing that he does. Lots and lots of reframing he brings in. When you reframe yourself, you change. Whatever you think, you reframe it, you change. I had a lot of opportunity to do that with myself after reading this book during that difficult period. When I didn't say, oh, why me? Oh, is it end of the world, I said, why not me? That's how I started looking at it. I started reframing it that way. And this reframing of his really, really helped me. And if you really sort of look at it, you know, he brings in a lot of embedded commands into especially I think it is in chapter 2 and chapter 1, where he says, do the most difficult task first, decide exactly what you want.
Yeah.
When you tell yourself or tell others, directly, what do you want? People get offended, right? So to me, it was like, okay, embed it and see what you can do with yourself. So a lot of that embedding of his and his visualization and the future pacing. I used to future pace myself. I used to visualize myself not on a hospital bed, but again standing before a group and talking to them, sharing my thoughts. And when I started doing that, that sort of that identity level started rising in me,
Hmm.
which he talks about.
Yes.
And if you look at the identity level, it actually comes from Robert Dilts. He was the one who comes, comes from environment, place, capabilities, values, and then he goes to your identity. So somehow my identity at that particular point of time, maybe the difficult situation changed most of those things. And this book somehow really, really helped me. I see a lot of it's lot of NLP processes in it, which can help people. Even this thing, he when he says, "Eat the frog by bit, don't swallow it whole. Eat it bit by bit." When you sort of chunk it up, it makes things easy to understand. It doesn't overwhelm people. It doesn't overwhelm me when I chunk it down. To be very frank with you, even as a mundane uh, job like kitchen work, every day we do it, I chunk it. I chunk it. So this book has been a sort of NLP for my life, and especially during this difficult period. So I always sort of have used it with my young friends. Teenage students. I have been with these youngsters a lot. So I normally tell them, what is it that they can do? Go chunk it, go one by one. Don't just rush. Have a dream, have a goal. We talks about goal, right? But children only look at goal. What is goal, ma'am? I like to dream. Yeah, dream and goal. There's just a thin line between dream and goal. Dream is your dreaming, goal is nothing but dream with wings. That's the difference with your dream and goal. And I use this book, NLP, with all, whoever comes in my, this one, and I use it a lot. So to me, this book is something that has, I thank you people for even bringing this book into this discussion, because it's absolutely talks about discipline. It talks about decisive, action oriented, everything. That's simple, like what Shamli said, old wisdom, old wine in a new bottle.
Yeah.
That's it. This is all these things we knew, but now it's coming in a book form and it's helping.
More structured. Yeah.
More structured. Unfortunately, it was not put in a proper form in the older wisdom ways, but now it's more structured, so you get it. This is how I look at this book, and it has really sort of motivated me and helps in motivating people. This is me on this book.
Thank you so much, Gita. And one thing you have pointed out, I really liked it, that we can and we must share it with the younger generation.
Younger.
They
Yes.
Yeah.
they really
That's why we have this
because
club,
yeah,
because
Somehow
we need to
the children
influence them.
don't read books. So
Yes.
what I do is I spend 10 minutes of my class or whatever it is talking about all these things.
Mm.
And,
absolutely.
somewhere at least one or two, it'll stick in their
Yep, yep, absolutely. Makes an impact.
Yeah. Now
definitely.
we have a very young friend amongst us, and she's a voracious reader. She's an avid reader, and unlike our generation, and she's an engineer work in an IT company, but at the same time she engages in social immersion groups, and she is a mediator also. Often she mediates in things. So yeah, Arohi,
Thank, thank
can
you,
I
ma'am.
invite
Thank
you?
you so
Yeah,
much.
please.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. So, I'm very thankful to Shamli ma'am and to all of you, and happy to be a part of this group. Um, so yeah, about the book, I would definitely speak about. But before that, as we all were speaking about this book, Secret. So what happened is like a few days ago, or maybe some days and a month ago, about a month ago, I was thinking about that I should join a group or a club where, I can talk about my thoughts and talk about the pointers or jot down something and whatever I read, because I am an avid reader, but because of my job and everything, I do not get so much time. So it just happened that I met Shamli ma'am at the book fair, and she said that, yes, I'll invite you for the talk show. So that happened to be like I manifested it on my own, and that's because I was, looking forward to something like this, and it happened. So that is like one of the manifestations that happened, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, about the books, like I like to read books, and one of the books that I bought in the book fair was that how to read a book. And reading a book is important. Like the way you read it is also one of the important things. And in this book about Eat That Frog. So this book is really I can relate to it very well because in time it majorly focuses about the time management, the productivity, and just to break down the bigger goals into smaller goals and starting with a single step. So I couldn't read the entire book because of the time constraint as of now. Like it was on a shorter notice, but yeah, I went through a little bit of it. So I was reading the Pareto rule, that is 80-20. So 20% of the, if you take the 20% of the task and it creates an impact on the 80% of the thing. So yeah, this book is really, I can relate to it, and it is for the younger generation. Definitely, I agree with Geeta ma'am that it is for the younger generation because we need that motivation in our lives, because these days we are not having that motivation from any of the TV shows or OTT platforms or any other. We need to get that from the books, and we need that inculcation in our lives so that we inculcate those values, and whatever was there, we have it all in our hands in a very simple and a silver spoon manner. But we need to have that motivation, and this book, I can relate to it really well. And yeah, so looking forward to completing this book and going further with it.
Absolutely.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much. And
Very
what
nice.
I really like, one liner I like about this book is that the author is saying, eat, not only eat that frog, if you have two frogs, eat the
Eat the
ugliest one.
yuckiest one first.
Eat the
I always
ugliest.
say that to myself. Do the yuckiest task first. You know, the one which where you're wanting to run away from, but then you might as well just face it, get it over with, and relax. And the other things you'll feel happy about doing the other things because they'll be simpler. and you'll be more passionate about them. But then when you get that thing done also, there's a sense of achievement within you.
Absolutely,
So it
absolutely.
boosts your
And that is
self-confidence.
again connected with
Yes.
NLP.
Yeah, yeah. That's what
You
I'm
are
saying.
rewarded. Your neurological system is rewarded. Then you tend to do more. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
absolutely.
absolutely,
Now
absolutely.
I would like to invite our founder, Dr. and Professor
So we
Alka
missed
Mahajan, to talk about this book.
to talk about first.
And
I must say that
yeah,
all
and
of
she
you,
seems to be very animated. She's really
you
into this
see,
book.
I kept the frog with me just for this reason. Eat that frog. And honestly,
Madam
no,
Jeannie, Madam Jeannie has taken the second place today. Her hat and marmalade is not the talk of the town.
no.
The frog is the talk of the
Margaret
town.
must be around her only. He never leaves her. I always forget.
Marmalade the Great is his name because he looks like a jar of marmalade. But
Yeah, he's all
his name,
orange. He's orange actually. Very
Okay,
beautiful
okay.
shade.
All
Yeah,
right,
just
all right.
exactly like a
his,
marmalade, the marmalade
his
that we eat.
name should really be Velcro because
Yeah.
he's always stuck on me. So I should have named him Velcro. Everywhere I go, I got this orange face looking at me. He wants kisses.
Oh,
I kiss him on the top of the head, and he goes.
okay. I think Mehreen has joined. Tell her
No,
to
ma'am,
speak
first,
only.
first you talk about
Okay,
your
I'll talk about it.
thing,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then
I'll
Mehdi,
ask her to join
Mehdi.
at least. Okay.
Yeah.
So, lovely meeting all of you today, and lovely hearing your thoughts. And I just resonated with each and every one of you because what you said about, like Madam Jeannie said, what Geeta ma'am said, what Arohi, our young one, said, and the way you moderated the session, the panel, the book conversation, it was wonderful. Everything seemed to be connecting with one another. And personally, to me, when Geeta ma'am was talking about, you know, um, what was I going to say? I got distracted. Yeah, the fact that, sometimes goals and dreams and all that, that's why I always felt that, journaling is so important. I mean, because if you write down each and everything that you feel, your thoughts, and you do journaling in really the right sense of the word journaling. Don't just say journaling, writing in your diary. No,
I don't know.
you write, like if you have any negative thoughts, you write them down and then cross them out. This is my style. You have good thoughts, you write them and make a smiley or put a star over there. A little bit of creative
I'm
journaling.
on a Zoom, Azra.
Yeah, a little bit. Sister Marine, you're unmuted. And also, what happens is that journaling gives you a lot of power because they all directly affect your thoughts. And thoughts are by words. Words have energy, words have power. Because every word that we speak creates the person that we actually are. So, I feel when this book says, eat that frog, okay, it may be a little bit repetitive because nowadays, people don't like to hear the same thing again and again. Nobody likes, the younger generation especially doesn't like us preaching the same thing again and again. But, somewhere deep down, you still feel glued to the book because of the fact that, yeah, it reminds you of many events in your life where you probably ran away from something and then because of that got into trouble, and also of a situation where you probably thought to yourself, okay, let me just get away with this, let me just get over with meeting this very difficult boss of mine, let me just get over with it and let me see what happens after that. And things actually go off better when you do the difficult thing first, the difficult task first. It's always, you notice that, life becomes simpler after that. You feel that, wow, you're actually flying higher. So I feel that, when the Brian Tracy says about, oh, there's a line, what is that line? I'm forgetting that line, which put everything on paper. Put everything on paper. I feel that is so important. And also what is important, everything is important, whatever he says. It's quite a repetition actually. If you really look at it and when you start reading the book, you'll everything seems to be connected here and there. It's all about eat the difficult thing first, do that first. It's too much of preachy stuff. But then yes, when you actually think about it, face things as they come to you fearlessly. I always love that. And the fact that we create the life that we want, like Arohi said, that, I just manifested, I just thought about it. The law of attraction does work because you are giving power to your words. They become your energy, and then you start attracting those vibes. It's as simple as that. So, when we actually follow what this author says about eating that frog, I know frog, but Usha ji very nicely, in a very metaphorical language, explain things. And I love that because English is, I think most of us are English. From the English literary background. And actually, even Madam Jeannie, you are, because I remember you telling me that you taught English in China to a
No,
group
I
of
taught English in Japan.
in Japan. Okay, I got
Yeah,
confused with China. China
yeah,
was Tony, the storyteller. You must be knowing him
yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got it. So life becomes beautiful, I feel. We actually have this sense of achievement, fulfillment, satisfaction. We feel good about ourselves, our self-worth. Our self-worth is very important. And when we start doing tasks like this, the difficult ones first and the easy ones later, that self-worth, that feeling of euphoria that comes that, yeah, I handled it and I did a great job. When you pat yourself on the back, I think that's wonderful. That's why, we keep on focusing on self-worth, positivity, spreading smiles, because, the world needs a lot of it. And these days, mental health is going for a toss. I for one, am a huge advocate of mental health. I'm a psychotherapist as well, and I love ensuring that people are in a happy and safe space. Most of the time, they aren't, and I would say that even teachers, educators, leaders of schools, they're not really happy. They're not happy at all. I've met so many school leaders, educators, and in fact, I've been in that environment for 35 plus years. So I know what actually goes on behind the scenes. Because, they're just saying something, feeling something else, and it sounds all fake. There's no authenticity to it. So somewhere down the line, we need to connect all these things, be authentic, be happy, face problems. Sometimes we need to take those leap of faith also, I feel. Somewhere indirectly, the book also mentions that to my mind.
Mhm.
If we
Yeah.
take those leap of faiths and we do things, even if we don't know about it, it still works. Many times, we may not be able to do everything, but we definitely get something done out of what we know. So rather than sitting and saying to yourself, what's holding me from doing it? I can do it. I'll do it some other time. There's so many ways that we keep on coming out of situations, just collie muddling, whatever you call that, ourselves by, I think I'll do it later. After all, I deserve a little break. I worked hard today. But you're not doing good to yourself, by not, by letting go of doing something. You never know the good that comes out of it. So I always feel, let's just, enhance our positivity. We all are unstoppable. I would repeat saying this. Why? Because we have a unique trait within us that we need the people to know. And there's no harm in flaunting yourself. What's the harm in doing that? You are unique, you are unstoppable. So why not? And let people, if we have this combined collective of people coming together with their uniqueness, that's the time we all shine. But what problem happens is that, we start holding grudges, thinking, oh, this person is going ahead of me. He is going ahead, he or she is, but in their own field. You are you, you're perfect in your own way. With your imperfections, you're perfect. This is what I say to myself. And it's always words, it's always energy. So whatever you say to yourself actually happens. So I know, because the moment I start doubting myself, that thing never happens. So
Absolutely.
it's better to believe also, because if your thoughts, I mean, you may be saying something, oh, it will work out, be positive. But if in your thought, in your mind, there's a doubt, it will never happen. It happened with me just yesterday, in fact. I was thinking of doing something, but there was a doubt. And because of that doubt in my mind, I couldn't do it. It never happened. It fizzled. So the high that I was on, I came down, boom, like that. So it's always good to, even think that way. So I see that our wonderful sister Mehreen has joined in. Sister Mehreen,
Mm.
you have 5 to 8 minutes. I know because you take us to the classroom all the time. But she does a great job at it. So
So
can we
we
see
have
you? Can we see you today?
Dr. Ambassador Mehri from South Africa. She's joining us. And Alka ma'am, I just want to point out one thing. Yes, you're so right. We have been mollycoddling with our
Yeah.
uh, talents and procrastination. One another line which I really like about this book is this: develop an urgency. I
Urgency.
really
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah. I
chapter.
think
I
I
really
wanted to
like
say
that.
that
Love that
also.
chapter.
Yeah, yeah, you
I
have
really
to.
love that
You have
chapter.
to be
And
very, yeah, yeah.
yes,
You're right. You're right.
yes,
That
yes,
urgency,
yes,
if you don't have it, you'll never do anything. I mean, I always
absolutely.
feel that when you think of something, just start acting on it. Because the moment you start acting, you will find a way forward. Otherwise, you remain stuck in a rut. You'll become stagnant. You won't move. There'll be no movement at all. Professor Mehreen?
Yes, yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm not going to put this video on. I just walked in. I'm sure you heard my daughter shout at me as soon as I got in the door. And then I'm saying to her, so I'm on a
Oh,
Zoom because I'm trying to be on a Zoom at the same time. So sorry. But yeah, I couldn't miss this. And I love what everybody shared. I think everybody's already said so much that's almost, the
No,
best
you'll have
about this book.
something very different to say,
yeah,
knowing
yeah.
you.
She always has.
So
She always.
So yeah, so the thing is, what I loved about this book, and I read it many, many times over, because every time I picked up this book, I found a different message in it. And for some reason, I found, I still had the level of procrastination more than once, and each time I brought that level down by one notch, but it was never brought down to to total minimal because of me not wanting to really eat that big frog. Literally, I was just my own barrier was myself.
Yeah.
I kept on making every excuse under the sun to not get to that one. I'll just keep doing the little ones. And with each little one, I was trying to console myself that I'm getting to the big one, instead of doing it the other way about and just attacking that big one and getting that big one out the way. So that for me was the most important thing there. But, in terms of, and Alka knows this, I've kind of specialized in the levels of emotional intelligence and NLP in the past couple of years. So when I read this book now, I read it with a whole different insight, because this book is not just about giving you methodologies of how to actually get through stuff and how to literally make your difficult tasks become easier and how to actually, win your battles. It's more than that for me. When I read the book now, it's very different from when I read it back then, because when I read it now, it's teaching me about me. It's almost teaching me lessons about emotional intelligence. It's teaching me to get more in tune with myself. And actually, indirectly, it's trying to make you ask the not so nice questions to yourself.
Yeah.
What exactly is stopping you? Why? What is your trigger? What are you scared to face? Why don't you want to do it? So you almost have to kind of face the stuff that you don't normally want to face. So this book is now got a whole different meaning for me, because it literally means I got to identify what is this frog that's in my way. I don't like this thing, but I got to get rid of it. Nobody else is going to do it for me, And for me to do that, I got to figure out, why don't I even like it anyway? Is it how it looks? Or is it, well, what is it? But I got to get in touch with me first. So that concept of being aware of myself becomes so relevant, because if I don't know me, I'm never going to be able to take one of the steps he's identified in this book. I got to know me well enough to know which time of day works for me. I've got to know me well enough to know at what level I'm going to even try and attempt it and not lie to myself while I do it. So it's all about this concept of awareness for me and growing myself through trying to get through what I have to get through. So even when when I'm attempting something and I want to literally get to this frog that's in my way, and I try and I fail, I'm actually looking at it from a more positive insight. Why? Because I've grown myself through the process. And so this book for me is not just a book of guidelines anymore. It's actually become a book of knowing myself through it. And I think indirectly, and I don't know whether Brian would agree with me or not, but I think indirectly he was talking about himself through his whole chapters and what he had to go through to identify with what his was. And I think we take those lessons, and I think everything about this book applicable to every one of us will have a different meaning, because every one of us will mentally assign certain things to different levels of the book in a different way. So it will never be approached to everybody in the same way. So even if we want to teach this book to somebody, you can only be taught in terms of a workshop, like the book is. It gives you these little segments where you've got to work through things on your own. But even those examples, when I go back and I do one of those now, it's very different when I first started doing it. I do it now with more in-depth about myself. And that's what I love. I love because I've almost, I might not have ate the big one now. I don't even like the word, but if I might not have eaten the big one already, but I know I've attacked it enough, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because when I go through these little workshops that he gives me in the book, I now identify with things I never knew about myself back then. I know that about me now. I can answer certain things about me more quicker. I can get through different things. And you know what? That level of achievement when you have done it is such a motivation for you as a person that you feel like, oh my God, I can move a mountain. I know I can. And that is what this book is trying to push you to know, that everything about you is literally about you. Even the task that you set for yourself. Yes, maybe if you're working for somebody, they give you your task from A to Z that they need you to do. But ultimately, it is you who is doing that. And it is you who selected that job to do in the first place. Those people are just managing it, or they're giving you guidelines. But everything about you is about you. So how you wish to attack everything you need to do, what you wish to do with this frog that's in front of you, how you want to deal with it, ultimately everything boils down to two words. One is choice, and one is control. I have control over my choice.
Yeah.
So do I choose to actually nip this frog in the bud and deal with it? Or do I choose to do what I used to do before, which is just choose the small ones to make myself feel better, so that I don't have to really get to the big one, but this big one glares at my face all the time. So it's my choice, but it's my control about what I do with what I'm choosing. And that for me is what this book is about now. I love that, Alka. That one I'd hug anytime.
Because you said no big one, so I thought I'll show you a big one.
Yeah. So yeah, this book for me is all about insight. This book is all about insight. It's about self-awareness. It's about you learning how to be intelligent about what your triggers are, what are your stops. And let me tell you, I've also found that, sometimes when people read the book for the first time, they identify with that one obstacle that keeps stopping them, right? And then when they get through that, they feel like that's it. But the one thing I realized, and I think all of us have gone through this, is we find there's always another obstacle that comes afterward. So you don't just ever have one frog in front of you. There's always going to be another and another. And sometimes they get fatter and fatter
Yeah, it
as
just
life
keeps on.
progresses.
It's a vicious line. It just
Yeah,
keeps
it's a
on.
vicious
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
But you have to learn through every time you go through the book and everything you learn from it, how am I going to attack the next one? And then prep yourself so you know what your triggers are. You can become more aware of you. And that way, when the next one pitches up, you're like, hey, hi, I was
Yeah.
waiting for you to come along.
I was waiting for you.
You know?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
waiting for you. Actually, you're
Yeah,
right.
so that's
That's
kind of my
exactly
take.
what we say.
Mm. Okay, so that was my take on the book.
Wow.
Excellent, excellent. You have given another dimension to it, knowing yourself. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm going to read the book once again. I have to. I have to. From
No,
this point of
sometimes
view,
it's
I have
always
to.
better. I think,
Yeah.
it's always better to revisit the books that you have read
Yes, yes.
because,
Where,
you read them at different stages of your life. So when
yeah,
you
right.
read them at different stages, you get different, your perceptions change
Mm.
according to the stage. So for example,
Maybe
you read,
I hurried through the book a little. That's why I found it that it is oversimplifying human behavior. I
that's
found
what I
the book
said.
like
That's,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
too much
that
of
it is
preachy
not
stuff and
really
repetition.
addressing why, because sometimes I feel sometimes people procrastinate um, because they want to avoid the job. No, because there is some emotional and
I
some
feel the most, yeah,
neurological
yeah.
factor added to it.
Yes,
That's why they
yes,
are
yes.
procrastinating.
And
That's
most
why they are
often that is
procrastinating.
actually just a fear factor. Most often it's a fear factor. And the one
Yeah.
thing I've learned, and this is from
Mhm.
my own experience, I've learned that I feared myself. I feared myself.
Absolutely.
I feared what happens
Absolutely.
if I don't like what my outcome is. And still, I learned the hard way again that that
Mm.
outcome is also in my control. So the fear factor becomes your emotion, but you have to learn through the little things that he teaches you. How do I get through that? And those breakthroughs become even better and bigger as you keep working through it. And these become your life principles eventually. They do.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Shamli, can I come in a minute?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure, sure.
please.
Please,
Uh,
please.
what Dr. Alka was talking about, the book being repetitive, yes, it's quite repetitive what he says, but somewhere I feel by being repetitive, he's anchoring those thoughts into the people who are reading that book. What do you think, Dr. Alka? That's my
No,
take
no,
on
I
it.
agree with you. I agree with you. I
Yeah.
was talking of the general audience, So when I
Mm,
actually
mm,
I talked
mm,
to certain people about this book, so they're telling me
mm.
that. I found, yes, there are
Yes.
places, but
Mm,
when it's like in life, when we do something, they say practice makes a man perfect. When you do something again
mm,
and again, you
mm,
become an expert at it. And then
mm,
you
mm.
don't just leave it. You just do something, say, yeah, I know it. You don't really know it. You haven't mastered it. So when you're
Correct.
reading something, some thought which is meant to be read again and again, it forces and reinforces and reiterates that yes, you
Absolutely.
are on the right track.
Yes.
And
So
that's why
yes,
the book
that way
sticks with
repetition
you.
is very
Uh,
important. And as educators, I feel that we
Mm.
repeat so many times in the
So many
classrooms.
times.
We repeat. We say, "Do you want, ma'am? Can you please repeat this once
Mm,
more, two,
mm.
twice, thrice, four times?" We keep on repeating ourselves because until unless the student actually understands what we're trying to tell them, they will want those repetitions.
Want
So
to.
repetitions are, yes, I totally agree that repetitions are important to reiterate in our mind the crux of the matter. You know what
Matter.
the real point is? We really need to know that. But I think this
But
was
I
wonderful.
must say something that I also found in not
Mm,
just this book, but many books. I think we will have many more that actually have these money workshops in the books. One thing I found is if you are somebody who's done, for example, the exercises he's given you diligently, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you do it the second time round. If you keep your answers of the first bit of exercises you've done, and you look at the second lot and you compare your answers, you actually see how you've grown
mm,
and
Yes.
you see your
yeah.
own patterns of your own behavior.
Yeah.
mm.
And that helps you to grow even more. And I think that's so important when we want to do it. And that's why I say when you read these books with an open mind, you actually open up yourself to grow even more. Sorry, Madam Jeannie, I do see. Is that your hand up?
I'm asking all of your brilliant minds for guidance here. Really
Okay,
seriously. I can't see your face because your video's not on, but I respect your mind very much. And the same with
of
the other
course.
lady here. Okay, I'll tell you what my biggest stumbling block with not eating the frog first. Okay, here it
Yeah.
is. I tried to eat the frog. It didn't work out. It was a big hassle. I tried to work out the hassle. The hassle got worse to the point that I'm exasperated. I cannot stand the frog. Okay, so what do I do now?
That is what I was talking about, that it does not address human behavior and human behavioral issues. That's what I talked about at the beginning only. Yes, from that
But
point of
that
view,
was that
it
was
is a
Madam
little
Jeannie's
over. Uh,
witty
uh,
and humorous
for
take.
absolutely,
So the
absolutely. But for that,
comedian in her
Ginny,
never rests, Shamli. The comedian
for
in
that,
her has to
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
like this.
absolutely.
So,
For that,
so
Ginny, you
Madam
must
Jeannie, let
eat.
me just tell you that I think, your beautiful little cat. I think maybe let him just have was at the frog for a while. He might just
Wow,
be able to
that's a
break
good
it down.
suggestion. That's a good
Well,
suggestion. But Madam Jeannie, as you always do, can you take a screenshot of all of us lovely, gorgeous,
yes, I would
And
love
Ginny,
to.
gorgeous?
I'd like to but tell you something that for that, I think you need to read that Atomic Habits. I found after reading this book, I found that I should have read this book first, then the Atomic Habits, and then
Okay.
I should have read the book Getting Things Done. These three
Yeah.
books, I think they go hand
So
in
put
hand.
them on the
I
group
mean,
for all of us to
yeah,
read.
yeah, yeah. I'll do that.
And
I'll do that.
yeah, and
Atomic
maybe
Habits and
maybe
Getting
we
Things
can
Done.
read them. And after a
They're
month,
so connected. They're so
yes,
connected.
yes. In
Uh,
the month of March, maybe we can, talk about that.
abs-
So I think
okay,
it'll be
All right,
fun.
okay.
we're going to take a screenshot, and
Oh,
I
Yes, be
like
show your best face.
so
Show your
one.
best face, please.
I'm going to take it after three. So 1, 2, 3. Let me take a peek here and see how beautiful we look. Okay, wait a sec. Oh my goodness. We are gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, we loved it. I mean, it was such a nice, I would say also stress buster. So if I was feeling a little bit stressed because what didn't happen yesterday, my own fault. I was thinking, I was doubting myself. So I'm feeling much better and lighter now. So this is the purpose of our, Book
Right.
Wizards Club. We share books, we share, and we keep the habit of reading alive because whatever said and done, though books, we find these PDFs and we have all these, everything is online. Somehow holding a real book in your hand, flipping through the pages, that smell of the
Yeah.
paper,
Hmm.
it gives you a different
But
feeling
my
altogether.
beloved sister, I'm going to just pause you there. I don't know what might have brought you down, but I'm going to just give you a little bit of sisterly something, right? You and I both know. I think most of us know that we're all about energies. We're all about really what we feel and what we think, and we're in tune with
Yeah, yeah.
that.
But
So
we're
sometimes
human
when we
beings, no? Remember,
yeah,
sometimes we
so when we
can do,
want
even though
something,
it happens
we
to the
want
best of
something
us,
so bad
darling.
enough. Yeah, so when we want something so bad enough and we really, we work it out in our head, we have this vision, we know exactly how we're
Yeah,
going to do it, and all of a sudden there's a bummer and it doesn't happen.
yeah.
It's actually somehow the universe saying,
Telling us.
excuse me, I do have the upper hand here and I don't want it for you.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So there's
so we
something
just
good
say,
in it. You're right. I also
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
completely
yeah,
believe that. Yeah, because if something
absolutely.
doesn't happen, God definitely has a better plan,
I
or
agree.
the
Absolutely.
universe
Absolutely.
definitely has a better plan. So yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I think all of you shared lovely, powerful, touching, really making an impact, thoughts, deliberations, perspectives, everything. And I think we should do this more often. For starters, once a month. But let's see, some of us who are staying in the same city, maybe we could come together and we can be joined by these lovely ladies. We could have that hybrid mode. So we're there with us on Zoom and we are there together and we can, sort of have a nice, let's try that out sometime, maybe in 1 or 2 months. But till that, we will continue having it like this because it's easier for all of us to just leave whatever we're doing and come online and say hello to our friends who are avid book readers, young, a little bit not that young. And it goes on. I know. I said that for Arohi. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you, Jeannie, madam. Thank you, Professor Dr. Mehreen. Thank you, Arohi. Thank you, Shamli, for hosting this panel conversation, this book conversation so beautifully. I know how passionate you are about books, and no one could have done it better than you because yeah, because you are you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unique and unstoppable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all are. We all are in
We
our
all
own
are. We
special
all are.
ways.
Yes.
But that is the
I'd like to
purpose.
thank Shamli and Dr. Alka for inviting me into this group, and I loved this today.
So
Oh,
Thank you
once you
very
will
much.
also
thank
be,
you.
doing the moderation for the panel discussion. So we could leave that to you. Any book that you would like all of
Yeah,
us to read, and you could ask us questions. I think we need to also challenge ourselves. It will help
true,
us keep
true.
Yes.
ourselves really fit mentally and physically
Yes.
both. And yeah, being learning every day, like we say, the Chilparco International, we have a parenting forum, and the parenting forum says, from the child in me to the parent in you, and from the parent in me to the child in you. Life is an endless journey of learning, rediscovering yourself time and again. And we learn from everyone.
Absolutely.
We keep on empowering ourselves by teaching others, and from them we also get empowered. So that is why we say all these things, and what is the purpose, and we get a powerful voice. When we're sharing our voice, it gives us power, that power to battle the mundane things of life, which get boring after a time, and also the tough things. So keep going, keep inspiring, keep learning, and let's all do our bit to make planet Earth a beautiful, bountiful, blissful, and a blessed place to be in. And stay happy, stay healthy, and always spread smiles. Like Jeannie Madam just took that screenshot asking us all to put on our best smiles. So thank you so much. We'll share it in the group.
Yeah.
Madam Jeannie, I'll request you to share it on the group. Maybe I'll make you, I think I'll make all of us admins so everybody can share.
Yeah.
And especially the ones who are passionate. So I'll make all of them admins so we'll be able to share much better. So thank you so much once again. And I like to say it in Spanish, hasta
Thank you.
mañana, till we meet again. Take good care of
Thank you.
yourself, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Shamli. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank you.
joining us today.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
lovely.
Thank you.